Sorry. Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways. We promised this, I think, video number 2, that we were one day going to do our Mexican lasagna video, and today is the day. Let me give you a history of this recipe. Years and years and years ago, my cousin took a home ec class, and this was the recipe he made, and the whole family's been using this recipe for years and years and years. I know when our son was living at home, this is one of his favorite dishes, and I always make it when he comes back home. But today we're going to make a half version of it in this pan, and then I am going to make a plant-based version for myself in this pan. So let's get started. I've got everything ready, and I'm just going to talk you through it. So I might have gone a little overboard on my filling. I basically decided that I had about a cup of beans, kidney beans in the fridge. I had a little bit of rice, about a half a cup. I had some onions and bell peppers and some mushrooms. And I just started adding it to this bowl. And I ended up with 6 cups of vegetables. And I added tomato sauce to it, just a 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. I've got a can of diced tomatoes in here, and I added my homemade taco seasoning. So this is all cold because these veggies were just going to heat up when they are in the oven. So I didn't have to do any pre-cooking. And of course I had to add some greens. So I did some spinach. We had a little bit of corn. So in the recipe, I will give you ideas of what veggies you could add, but this is a good recipe. At least this version of it is a good recipe to like clean up the fridge. And then I'm using corn tortillas, whereas I'm using flour for Joe's. These are corn tortillas that I found at our Mexican market here in town, and they're no oil. That's just the corn, the lime juice, and water. So that's why I'm using these today. So your first layer for any lasagna is always your filling. I don't need to spray my pan or anything. So I'm going to put some of my filling down here. Oh, this looks so good. Okay, and next I'm going to add my triangles. I just cut these into triangles for both the tortillas. I just cut them into 8s. You can stack the tortillas up and then just cut them into 8s. It does not have to be an exact science at all. So I'm just going to lay these down, 1 layer. So you don't want to do 2 layers. You want to do half of your tortillas. Well, apparently someone's at the door and Riz is letting us know. This is real cooking in a real home, everyone. This is not in a fake kitchen. I'm going to put the next layer of our filling on. Oh man, it smells so good. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to leave a little bit for the top. Okay, and then our last layer of the tortillas. I love these corn tortillas, and let me tell you, you put these in the air fryer for 8 minutes. That's all you need. They make the best tortilla chips with no oil. So that makes me so happy. Okay, they might be a little addictive. Okay, and I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients here and spread it out. Okay. And then my lasagna is ready to go. Now, they do cook on 350 degrees. If you're cooking them the day you've got it all prepped, you don't need to cover it. If you've put it in the fridge, I would cover it for the first 30 minutes, then take the foil off for the last 15 minutes. But because we're doing day of, that's what I'm doing here. So this is mine. It's ready to go. Beautiful colors. I think I put some peppers in there. It was really whatever veggies I had to clean up in the fridge. So that's mine. Here's Joe's. So here's the ingredients for Joe's. It's a very simple recipe. I would say just putting everything to, getting it all together would be maybe the hardest. So I've got in here 1.5 pounds, about 1.25 pounds of cooked hamburger. Then I added I did put some diced onion in there when I fried the hamburger up. Of course, my taco seasoning, and then 1 16-ounce can of just plain tomato sauce. So I'm going to put this on the bottom. This recipe freezes well too. Make it a couple days ahead, put the foil on in the fridge. And then when you bring it out to bake it, like I said, 350 degrees, cover on for 30 minutes, and then cover off for 15 minutes. The flour tortillas are much bigger, so I might have actually cut too many of these. But my goal is to get 3 layers out of this lasagna. Okay, so the next layer is this is cottage cheese and eggs mixed together. Here's the reason why. My son nor my husband likes the texture of the cottage cheese if it just came right out of the container. So that's why I blend it for them. And that way it just becomes smooth. I've done that for years and years and years and years. Okay, I'm gonna put about 1/3 of that on there. Some of the cheese. This is 2 cups of cheese. And next, I'm gonna do another layer. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get 3 layers out of this. It does not have to be exact. That's the nice thing about lasagna. You're just gonna have those layers on there. Okay. This is perfect. And I also usually, I used to make this, and this would be something I would take to someone if they needed a dish because everybody likes it. And in this recipe, I think one time, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, we tried using corn tortillas and you and Mike didn't like it as much. So they definitely prefer the flour, but if your family likes corn tortillas better, definitely give that a shot.
Or mix them 50-50.
Yeah, that's true. You could easily mix them. Okay. When I put the recipe in the comments, I will give the full recipe for the 9x13. But today we just weren't doing that because we've got to do something else with the hamburger I've got left over. Okay. So this is turning out. I might have been just perfect on these tortillas. If you cut too many, it's no big deal. One tip that I used to do when our son lived at home is if I had too many of these, I would sprinkle them with a little bit of like Pam or a little bit of water, then cinnamon and sugar, and then bake them off. And then it's like a handheld churro, if you will. Okay. So we get the last of the cottage cheese and egg mixture in here. Again, you don't have to put the cottage cheese that way. That's just a texture thing for my boys that I did. You always want to do what your family likes. And I'm going to put the last of the hamburger on here. So let me know in the comments, do you make a Mexican lasagna and how do you make yours? You can also use regular lasagna noodles too. Just the recipe when it was given to us said to do it this way. And we're going to put the last of the cheese on there. This is just a Colby cheddar blend that we got at the store. The other thing you could use, if you like the cojita cheese, it's kind of like texture-wise like a feta, but it's a Mexican cheese. That's another option that you can do. So we're going to get both of these in the oven, and they're going to cook about 35 minutes. Again, because the hamburger is still warm, it doesn't need as much time because everything else is cooked. If you have it in the fridge, you would need it longer. So we're going to get this in the fridge. We'll come, in the oven. We'll come back after it's come out and it's had a few. I always say, let the casserole rest for about 10 minutes. That way, everything will not just fall out as soon as you cut into it. So we'll be back in just a little bit. Hi, welcome back. Mexican lasagna is ready. So here is the standard American diet one with the ground beef and the cheese and the cottage cheese and the egg and the tortillas. And then here's the plant-based one. So they cooked for 30 minutes on 350 degrees. And then we took them out and we let them sit for 10 minutes so that it just helps casseroles do so much better. So let's go ahead and serve these up so we can give them a try. Okay, let's see if I can get this out so Joe can get a shot. You see all the layers? Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll put that on Joe's plate. Then let's get mine. Oh, I cannot wait to eat this. All I keep smelling is the corn tortillas while it was cooking. I don't anticipate mine's going to stay together as well. I mean, that's fine with me. It does not bother me at all. But see, when you let the casserole sit, it doesn't all fall in. If you did it as soon as it came out of the oven, it would all fall in. That's the only reason you wait. It's not like it's going to hurt anything. So I'm going to serve mine with the Southwest guacamole that I found at the local store. It's got all whole foods in it. So I was like, yes, this is going to be good. Joe, you want to come in, give it a try? I mean, we've been making this for years, so I don't think we screwed it up. But we got to let everybody see how delicious this is. So I know I want a bite of everything. You see how it, ooh. Mmm. Mmm, 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 mmm. Mine was delicious. Warm, gooey, wonderfulness. And I really like the corn tortillas in this one. Not sure I'd like the flour. I know in this one when I used to eat it, I did like the flour. So, cheesy enough? Yeah, we were hungry. So, thank you all so much. Let us know in the comments, are you going to be trying this Mexican lasagna? And if so, send us put a picture of it down there and let us know what your thoughts are on it. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week on One Dish, Two Ways. Thank you.